Are you waving orange sticks? When I first started working in advertising, I had a mentor who liked to say, if you don't know why something works, it probably doesn't. I'd nod along thinking it made perfect sense and that I understood. But it wasn't until years later, during a meeting with a client, that the meaning of his words truly clicked. The client wanted to copy a competitor's campaign, right down to the colors and the slogan. It worked for them, they argued, so it'll work for us. I couldn't help but think about my mentor and an old story he told me about cargo cults. During World War II, isolated South Pacific islanders witnessed something extraordinary. Giant planes dropped supplies, food, medicine, clothing, and other unimaginable goods for the soldiers stationed on their islands. The soldiers often shared their bounty, and for the islanders, it was as if the heavens themselves were delivering miracles. But then the war ended and the planes stopped coming. Confused, the islanders tried to summon the cargo back. They dressed in makeshift uniforms, waved bright orange sticks like the air traffic controllers they'd seen, and even built wooden control towers, thinking these actions would bring back the planes. Their rituals were earnest, but ultimately futile. Why? Because the islanders misunderstood the relationship between cause and effect. They saw soldiers waving sticks and cargo arriving and assumed the first action was responsible for the next. Of course, the real cause, the global war and military logistics, was invisible to them. Correlation isn't causation, is a lesson for all of us. Here's the thing. Just because two events happen together doesn't mean one causes the other. As a keynote speaker who's had the privilege of sharing ideas with audiences around the world, I've seen firsthand how easy it is to mistake correlation for causation. We often focus on surface level details and assume they're the reasons for success while we overlook the deeper strategies that truly drive impact. Take keynote speakers, for example. It's easy to look at a top-tier speaker and think their success comes from a catchy title or a slick demo reel. That's why you see so many others mimic these elements, picking buzzword-heavy titles, silly acronyms, or flashy social media posts. But more often than not, those tactics don't work. Why not? Because those things aren't what make the best speakers successful. The real cause of a great keynote speaker's success is their ability to deeply connect with their audience. It's about the clarity of our message, the authenticity of our delivery, and our ability to deliver actionable value. The flashy reels and clever titles might grab attention, but they aren't the engine driving the success. They're just the packaging. Trying to copy surface level tactics of top speakers is like waving orange sticks on a deserted runway. There's a lot of activity and it feels like positive action, but it's not what makes the planes land. Here's a personal lesson in cause and effect. Years ago, I attended a conference where the opening speaker blew everyone away. His delivery was polished, his slides were beautifully designed, and the crowd gave him a standing ovation. The next speaker, either inspired or intimidated by that energy, tried to emulate his style. He mimicked the humor, the tone, and even the slide transitions. But needless to say, it fell flat. Why? Because the first speaker's success wasn't about the slides or the jokes. It was about the unique way he connected with his audience. He understood their pain points, their needs, and their aspirations, and he spoke directly to those things. The second speaker focused on copying that style, but missed the substance. The experience taught me a valuable lesson. It's not about looking like someone successful. It's about understanding why they're successful. So are you building your own success or copying someone else's? The takeaway here is clear. Don't confuse correlation with causation, and don't confuse activity with productivity. Just because something works for someone else doesn't mean it will work for you. Whether you're building a brand or crafting a keynote, success isn't about imitating what others are doing. It's about understanding the why behind their success and finding your own unique way to deliver your value. If you're a speaker, don't waste your time trying to create someone else's magic. Focus on what makes you special. Know your audience and craft a message that only you can deliver. Because at the end of the day, it's not the orange sticks that bring in the planes. It's the intention behind the action that lands the goods.